we discussed 4 parts of speech, which I mentioned, in the later part of my lecture, that these 4, like nouns and adjectives, verbs and adverbs, these are, picture, words, and remaining 4, which I named as function words. Today we'll discuss them first of all, and then we'll move towards an important part of this lecture, understanding sentence. What sentence is actually, what are different clauses and all. Let's now once again count the 4 function words. Like number 1, they are pronouns. Number 2, prepositions. Number 3, determiners. And lastly, conjunctions. Let's start from first function word, which is what? Which is pronoun. Pronouns are what? Pronouns are words, which replace nouns in a sentence. When I say Imran, and in the second clause, if I need to use Imran again, I can use he for Imran. So he will be a pronoun for Imran. There are different types of pronouns. For example, subject pronouns. We call them subject pronouns. Why? Because they come at the place of a subject in a sentence. If you remember in my last class, I talked about, the pattern of a sentence also. I mean, a structure pattern. Like you have a subject, you have verb, and then object. And I compare it with, Urdu patterns as subject first and then object and verb. The same thing, like I'm referring, once again to that you have the first place in a sentence subject, second place is a verb, and third is an object traditionally. So pronoun which we use at subject place is called as subject pronoun. Now there are like, I and we as first person subject pronoun, and then you as second person, again subject pronoun, and then he, she, it, they as third person, subject pronoun. This is our first type of pronoun. Second type of pronoun, is the object pronoun. Again, the same thing. We call it object. Why? Because they don't come now at subject place. They come at object place. So we call it object pronoun. What are object pronoun? Take the same, 3 persons, like first and second and third. So I will be me. We will be us. I mean, I's object, I is a subject pronoun, and its object place pronoun will be I changed into me. He asked me, for example. He asked, verb, me. So I is now in the form of me. So me is an object pronoun. We into us. You into you. I asked you, for example. Or I asked you, for example. So you is the object place. We call it object pronoun. And then comes what? He into him, and she into her, it into it, they into them. So these are subject type and object type of pronouns. Then we have possessive, pronouns. They show possession. For example, my pen, my chair, my table. So this my thing is, possessive pronoun. Or in the same way, her, or his, or their, or its. So these are, possessive forms of pronoun. If we like, as a ritual, count again, then I, my. And then, we into our, and then you into your, he into his, she into her, it into its, and they into their. These are possessive. There is one more. We call it reflexive pronoun. What are reflexive pronouns? These are which, reflect back towards the subject thing. For example, I will do it myself. Now, myself thing is what? I, myself. So, I will do it myself. Again, reflects back, moves back, comes back towards I. So, reflexive. Like myself, like ourselves, like yourself, like, himself, herself, itself, their selves. These are reflexive pronouns. Besides these, there is one more important type of pronoun which we call as relative pronoun. Some examples of relative pronouns like that, which, who, whom. These are relative, pronouns. For example, if I give you a sentence that this is he who gave me his full support. Now, in this sentence, who is actually a relative pronoun. Who is going again back to the subject, going back to he. This is he who gave me his full support. So who is a relative pronoun. So these are, pronouns which we use at the place of nouns. And of course, their function or their use or the purpose behind using pronouns is that they help you cutting down the repetition in your sentence. That every time, if you keep using nouns at every place in every sentence, so they give you sort of a variety actually at the place of noun. You can use pronouns. This is how a little that monotony, avoid or you remove, from your sentences. Let's now move towards a second important function word as, parts of speech, prepositions. Very briefly speaking, what are prepositions? Prepositions are directions of your verbs. Interesting definition. Well, prepositions are directions of your verbs. Well, verbs, of course, they have directions. We use, preposition with, and our direction becomes more specific, more, I would say, explicit in its functionality. For example, if I ask you that go, now this word go has no direction actually with it. Go where? Go downstairs, go upstairs, go out, So add one direction with it and meanings will be rather more concrete. If I say, please go out. No, out is something which is direction of the verb go. So prepositions, there are different types of prepositions, like some three very, very common types like in, on, at, They, of course, express time and positions both. So very, very carefully use these prepositions. The third function word, third important, parts of speech, that will be determiners. They are also called as articles as type of it. Like, in total, by type, there are two, and in total three, a and an and the. Now, these are very important articles. What they do actually? They, from definite to indefinite, meanings they convey. For example, a chair and the chair. If you see the difference in these, when I say a chair, it's indefinite meaning. Well, a chair, there are 100 chairs. A chair. When I say the chair, it means I'm specific. Rather, let me put it this way. Look, I give you this example. Chair, C-H-A-I-R, chair. Then a chair. Then the chair. See the difference in these three. Chair, C-H-A-I. Chair is the concept in your mind. The concept in your mind, chair. If I use the word car, C-A-R, the concept in your mind, car, a car, the car. Or bone, B-O-N-E, bone. Bone, the concept in your mind, bone. The image in your mind of bone, and then a bone and the bone. So what you're doing actually, you are coming down from the concept to generalization, then to its very specific form. So the chair may be the one out of all these 100. A chair means, just one, any chair, maybe. Chair without determiner is the concept. So be very careful when you use, when you like talk about, nouns. You got to use appropriate determiner. Article with that noun. If you don't use that, it means we are not talking about anything concrete. Rather, we are talking about the concept in our mind. Whereas when we are talking about cars and chairs, of course, always we are in the context of talking about my own car, talking about your car, or my chair, your chair, not the concept thing. Okay, fine. If you're talking about the concept, then don't use but, then make it general, then make it specific. So a and an is general, the is specific. A and an is indefinite, and the is definite. So that's actually the function of, articles, determiners. Okay, there is another, whenever you study these articles, people do talk about the difference between a and an, and the pronunciation of the. Some people say the and the. That difference I should also to make it clear here. Of course, a and an, they go by the sound actually. If words take this thought with let's say the vowels, which are a, e, I, o, u, like for example egg, it will take an egg. If your words taking this thought from consonant, consonant sound actually I'm talking about, then it will be let's say the word is car, we cannot use an car, a car. Why? Because the first sound in a word car is k. K is a consonant sound, go by a. Egg, the first sound is actually vowel sound, so go by an egg. And now come down to this the or the. It also goes by the same sound thing. If it's vowel sound, the. If it's consonant sound, the. So that is actually the difference between a, an, and the and the. All right. Last important, very important, function word, and we call it conjunction. They are very, very important. They actually make your writing hold together. They are the links actually, like you have links or joints in your body, exactly the same way conjunctions, provide you links so that your sentences, your ideas could hold together. They could stick to each other. Conjunctions are important. There are two major types of conjunctions, like coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Of course, we are going to discuss in detail these things in my next lectures also. Your sentences have to stay connected, and we let them stay, connected with the help of these linking words. As I said, there are two: coordinating. If your ideas are equal, so we coordinate them. If your ideas are equal, we coordinate them. So equal ideas to be coordinated. If your ideas are not equal, they're unequal, so unequal ideas to be subordinated. Now, some examples of, I'll not give you the whole range of these coordinating conjunctions, just a few as an example. Like fanboys, like, and is one coordinating conjunction. Nor is coordinating conjunction. Or is coordinating conjunction. But is the one. For is the one. Yet is the one. So these, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, these all are, coordinating conjunctions. They coordinate equal ideas. Then you have subordinating conjunctions. One or two examples, just to have an idea. If is, subordinating conjunction. Since is subordinating conjunction. as is subordinating conjunction. So these conjunctions, make your sentences stay connected. The element of coherence, which in our last classes we talked about, due to conjunctions, we make it possible. So you have seen that these 8 parts of speech, 4 as picture words, 4 as function words. You studied, the definitions. You saw the, examples also, and you see their respective importance as well. And of course, now you understand perhaps that why I felt like starting my grammatical sentence right from the parts of speech. Why, as I told you, that to study language analytically and descriptively, we need to study the parts of our speech first, and then we could move towards the whole idea of sentence making and all. Please revise this old stuff, study it in detail, clear your concepts, and I hope you'll definitely do that. This ends my first part of my lecture, parts of speech, and now we'll move towards the second part, which is the basic clause patterns, or say it, let's move towards now sentence making. If I ask you a question that the word ouch, O-U-C-H, the word ouch, is it a sentence? Why I'm asking you this with an understanding that in your previous classes, probably you studied that the definition of a sentence is what? Well, a sentence is the one which gives you, a complete idea. So my question is, ouch, O-U-C-H. Does this word give you a complete idea? Well, you can say, why not? This is an expression of pain. This is an expression of agony. And of course, it is giving us a complete idea. But a curious language user may ask me or you that, excuse me, where is who or what which caused this ouch? He may say that, excuse me, this who or what perhaps is unknown, which has caused this ouch thing. Okay, I give you the dog bit me. Now the dog is who or what of this sentence, of this idea. So the dog bit me and I uttered ouch, an expression of pain or expression of agony. So from here, we can understand that not just complete idea is the only thing which we need to call some group of words as a sentence. Rather, yeah, fine that for very simple idea, maybe one word is enough or 2 words are enough. But for complete idea, perhaps we need more than 1 word. We need what? We need to know actor, we need to know action, and we need to be sure that whatever we are speaking is communicating a complete idea. Now, from here, 3 things actually we're talking about towards sentence.